Your first task today is to make a plan. That's your first task. Now you're going to make a daily plan, a weekly plan, and a monthly plan. Now, these plans you're making will help you to achieve whatever you want to achieve. There is a saying which goes like this, that whoever has failed to plan has planned to fail. Hey family, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chidera Marizu, and this is our series on procrastination. Welcome to part 2 of this amazing series, which says plan every day in advance. It is essential that you plan every day in advance. It keeps you ahead of the remaining 90% of people. The funny part is that over 100 people will plan their days, but to be honest, not even up to 80 will follow through with their plans. Now, it's one thing for you to want to stop procrastination, and it's another thing for you to plan yourself towards stopping it. And it's also something again for you to follow up with those plans, putting all the tiny steps together to achieving what you want to achieve. Your ability to set goals, make plans, and take action on them determines the course of your life. The very act of you thinking and planning unlocks your mental powers. It triggers your creativity. It increases your mental and physical energies. For the fact that you can sit and write. Listen, I stated in the first part that think on paper. So you need to write down something. I know these days you want to use our iPads with notes and other stuff, but I still go back to the first part of our lives, which was what, writing on paper and pen, because it opens your mind to different dynamics. It is good that you can write on your electronic parts, but why not still try give paper and pen a try? Something you can easily see and grab and squeeze and say, no, this is not working out for me, and I will do it. It is a good way to also start, right? So do your best to what? Make that plan. Today you must what? Make that plan. Go now, right now, as we're discussing, as you're watching this video, sit down and write your monthly plan. I know some of us have written New Year resolutions. You also wrote goals you want to achieve this year. Good. Now, those goals, you're going to break down those goals into monthly goals, weekly goals, and daily goals. It's still the same thing as me telling you, break it down into monthly plans. But for me, I will tell you, break it down into monthly goals, weekly goals, and daily goals. Now, break down the goals into plans. So, for example, your daily goal, break it down into plans. For example, the goal is to save 20% of my income. Now, the plan is, how am I going to save 20% of my income? How do I start it? Is my income enough for me to even save up to 20%? Even if it's not enough, I must learn what? Financial discipline to help me save that what? 20%. Alec Mackenzie said that taking action without thinking through things is a prime source of problem. Most times we just jump and then we want to take an action. If you do not think through it, ask yourself, is this viable? Is this achievable? You would end up getting yourself in one issue or the other. There is a 6P formula, 6Ps, yeah, 6Ps, which is prior planning, prior proper planning prevents poor performance. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. I call it the 6Ps. Every minute of your life that you spend planning something, it saves you 10 minutes of execution. For the fact that you have sat down this morning, you sat down today, and you took about 10 minutes to plan your day, it has saved you about 90 minutes in execution. You've sat down for 2 minutes, it has saved you over 10 minutes on execution. You need to learn to plan your day. You need to learn to plan all you're going to what? Achieve. Now, it does not have a limit. Whether you're in school, whether you're working, whether you're in business, you must learn to plan your day. Also, like I stated earlier, it is important you will think on paper. Now, my next point under this is what? Work from a list. You should learn to work from a list. If you're going to plan, that means you have a list in front of you. Learn to work from that list. When something new comes up, add it to it. Right? So as the day unfolds, you might have more plans to be added to that list. So great. Add them, add the new plans, continue with the old one like that without making adjustments. It makes no sense. Add the new plans to the list. It increases your productivity by over 25%. It has been stated that those that write down their plans and follow through, that think through it and then follow through on it, achieve more success than the rest of them who just write down their plans without thinking through and following through. Now, make your list a night before. Do you know that this point is very funny? Many of us just go to our beds and then we pick up our phones, we press our phones, and we sleep off. So it is even I that is speaking to you. I have been a victim of this particular thing. So I will tell myself, I will plan my day at night, I'll plan the next day tonight before I sleep. Then when I get to my bed, I'll put up my laptop or my phone and maybe try to type something or see a movie, and next thing, wham, I've dozed off. You know, the funny part is that I also have my bad manners, like my bad characters are also there. And the part of me sleeping off without planning my next day is also there. So I am being real to you. So what did I tell myself? I told myself, okay, I'm going to use a particular app, right, to write down my goals, because I might not be able to carry my diary everywhere. So I write down my weekly goals. I break it down now into daily goals with time targets on it, and then I have like schedules for each of them, when I'm to achieve each of these things. So I tell myself, okay, now then today is Friday, but sorry, Wednesday, yeah, today is Wednesday, and I'm making plans now for Thursday and then Friday and Saturday. So I am looking at it like I want to achieve something for Thursday, I want to achieve something for Friday. When it is written down, when there is a list, you will be able to see what you are following. Now, the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, I'm a Christian, I will always teach you from the Bible. The Bible says, down the vision and make it plain, that whoever that sees it will be able to what? Run with it. Why should I write it down? Because when I write it down, it is in my subconscious. Whenever I go back to my notepad, I go back to my journal and I see my plans that were written down, it triggers something in my mind that says, wake up and achieve. Wake up and get to do more. Wake up and don't slumber. Wake up, because the ground, like the soil, is green and you need to reap your harvest. You cannot claim a harvest when you have not sown. So you need to sow. You need to prepare yourself for the time of the harvest. Your subconscious mind will work on your list all night whenever you make your list at night. So even while you sleep, your mind knows that, okay, tomorrow you're going to do laundry, tomorrow morning you're going to go to school, tomorrow morning you're going to be in the office. Your mind practically works on it at night while you're sleeping. Why? Because you had made that list at night before going to bed. And often in the morning when you wake up with what? Great ideas of what to do, how to do it, how to achieve it. You are not being cumbered by the ups and downs of life, or the so much disturbances and every other thing around you, but you have prepared your mind on what you desire to achieve. Do you understand me? Now, when talking about lists, there are different lists for different purposes. So, like I stated to you earlier, there's a yearly list, which is like what you want to achieve this year. There's a futuristic list, what I want to achieve in the next 5 years, like long-term goals, what I want to achieve in the next 10 years. There is also a monthly list. This is a list that you have for the next month, but you write it the previous month for the next month. So for example, you write it on the 30th of January to achieve it in February. This is your preparation for the new month. We now have a weekly list. You write it at the end of this other week to achieve for the next week. We have a daily list. This list is your weekly list that is being broken down into a daily list. They are not different lists. Your monthly list is broken down into a weekly list. Your weekly list is broken down into a daily list. As you work, tick off the items that you have completed. As you go to the areas you need to go to, as you achieve those things on your list, tick it off. Tick it off as completed. It gives you a sense of achievement. It gives you a visual picture of success, that yes, you have succeeded on something, you have accomplished something, you have achieved something. Now, steady, visible and progress propels you forward and helps you to overcome procrastination. When there is a steady progress, like you can see it, you can see what you've achieved, it pushes you to what? Overcome procrastination. Procrastination is a killer of time and resources, a killer of joy. When you constantly succeed at different things, it tells you that you are above the laws, you are above the myth, you are above the chains of procrastination, and it keeps your mind active. There's one important rule of effectiveness, which is the 10-90 rule. The 10-90 rule means take 10% planning and use the other 90% to get the job done, right? Use 10% in planning. Earlier, I told you that if somebody spends at least 1 minute in planning, he would then like have saved over 10 minutes for execution, because he has put himself ahead and has thought through the plan. So you need to spend the first 10% of your time planning and organizing the work before you begin, and you will be able to save over 90% of the time in getting the job done. And once you get started, it goes swift. Now, lay out all your goals. Today, I urge you to lay out plans, all your tasks by priority. Ask yourself what is important. Lay them out. Write it, just write it carelessly. Write it in a broadsheet, write it out. Now you're going to go back and number them by importance. Which one will I do first? So when I wake up in the morning, I'm supposed to lay my bed, right? Lay my bed, have my morning devotion, right? For those of us that pray in the morning, have a morning devotion, say my affirmations, say look at my manifestations and manifest it, right? So because I need to manifest the life that I desire. I need to manifest all that is in my capacity to get. I cannot wait for anything to happen. I need to manifest it, call it forth as though they were. Because as I call it forth, the elements of the earth will align to bringing all my desires to me. So I'm going to lay out all of them, my goals, my plans, my projects, my tasks, by priority and also what? By sequence. And what has to be done first must be done first. I tell myself, what am I going to do first? Now, the book by Brian Tracy, Eat That Frog, he said, if you had two frogs, one small one and one big and very ugly one, which one will you eat? Most times, our minds are drawn to eating the smaller one. But you're supposed to go ahead and eat the big frog. And how do you eat a big frog? You're going to divide it into smaller bits and finish it up and then go to what? To the small one. It is important that you start today. It's important that you think on paper. Think now, start today. Start with the end in mind. What do you want to achieve at the end of this week? Start thinking from behind and walk the plan to the front. So what do I want to achieve at the end of this year? Right? So I write out all my plans. Then I begin to think from the back. Like think from the end and bring it to what? Beginning. So for me to be able to increase my income by 100%, that means I should consider, maybe for example, number one, raising an extra source of income. So I want to be able to give out so much value online that at the end of the day, you would want to pay me for the rest of the value that I have. It's important that you give out value steadily. The value that you give out steadily to people for free will keep them glued to you, that they want to constantly come back and gain more physical value. It is important to do that. Now I have two tasks for you today, two essential tasks. For the fact that you stayed on this video till now, you need to do these two tasks. And the first one is what? Begin each day with a plan. Earlier we said plan them in advance. So write your daily plan the night before, write your weekly plan the week before, write your monthly plan the month before. And as new things unfold, as new things come up, make sure to add them to the list. Point two of your tasks you're going to do today is lay out each of your goals, projects, tasks by priority. Ask yourself which one comes first, which one comes last. Start with the end in mind. This is so important. So do well to like this video, do well to comment, do well to share. And in case you've forgotten all that we've talked about, let me refresh your mind. You need to plan every day in advance. If you fail to plan, you have planned to fail. The importance of planning is that it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you on track. You do not need to start asking yourself, what am I going to achieve? When you don't think on paper, when you don't have any plan, it's just mere wishes and it can lead to confusion, misunderstanding, misguidance. It's important that you have all your points duly noted. Think on paper. Write out everything you want to achieve and follow through. Think through on it and follow through. Follow it step by step. How do you eat an elephant? How do you eat a lion, a big lion? You're going to eat them bit by bit, small by small. How do you eat a big cow? You're going to cut it piece by piece. You don't just take a cow and place it in your mouth. No, you're going to separate all its parts bit by bit and consume it. That is why it's essential for you to follow through on this procrastination series. We have over 20 videos and more on the procrastination series. You would love each of them. Now, to get connected to the next video on this same playlist, click here right now and watch the video. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying up till this time. Do well to like, share, and subscribe.